Hello people of the dear internet, and welcome back to a brand new video. Now today we are going to be talking about Val Denton and her connection to her nephew Benjamin, and how a simple relationship quickly became an obsession of her wanting to have a son. So grab your onions and make sure you're settled down as we go somewhere local in this new episode of I English Teacher It. Who is Val Denton? That's a great question. Val Denton is a member of the Denton household. The Denton household consists of Val, her husband Harvey, and her two twins, Chloe and Radcliffe. The family is extremely tight-knitted and all share sinister obsessions with cleanliness. The household was fine and at peace until one day a silly media student called Benjamin wanted to go visit. This one trip for a one-night stay led to weeks and weeks of pure anarchy in the home. After Benjamin struggled to meet up with his friend after the first night, he had to stay and wait for him to make sure he was okay. This long exposure with a teenage boy led Val to become hooked onto him and the idea for caring for him. Why is Val Denton? So of course, you as the viewer might be wondering, why has Val gotten to this point of obsession with her nephew? Well, after weeks of research, I have figured it out. I have not gone mad over this. I promise you, I don't get mad. What are you saying? Are you saying the Harvey Problem? So Val is married to Harvey, and Harvey's, well, interesting.
So join me then and drink! The we may become more like him and his Petrarchian friends!
Very interesting. But the most important aspect of him and his relationship he has with his gorgeous wife is that he's abusive. Now fans of the show might be screaming at their screens right now, saying something on the lines of, "No, that's not true. They're such a dream couple. They're like Tubbs and Edward. Perfect love." Tubbs and Edward? The dream couple? Are you sure? The dream couple which has scenes where Edward hits Tubbs? Is that a dream couple? I don't think so, lads. Hey, look, I've not given you guys at home some real evidence of times where he could be considered abusive, so let's go through some examples that have been shown in the show. Number 1, his constant disregard of her feelings. This is shown throughout the show, and there is only a few exceptions where she breaks through this problem. In the second series, at the end of the very first episode, there is one scene where we can see Val clearly upset over the loss of her nephew, her surrogate son. And what does Harvey have to say? Just get over it and clean his coal. Oh, hey, well maybe that's just one example. Let's hop over to the anniversary special when Val brought her charming husband back from the dead. Now when you get brought back alive, what would you do? Give your wife a hug? Tell her everything's going to be okay? Well, if you're Harvey, in this case, then it's quite the opposite. He didn't say anything of that sort, and he just started ripping apart the home, looking for all that goddamn dirt. Number 2, his gaslighting of what is normality. So what do I mean by this? Well, I mean that he's constantly, clearly lying to Val of what he thinks is normal, and clearly is manipulating her into being codependent on him. But let me give you an example so you understand my point. In the second series, there is a scene where Harvey and Val try to get their own nephew to drink his own urine. God, the show's so weird. Now, when Harvey answers this question of why he does it, he replies in a giant speech. Now, breaking down the speech, it simply means because toads do it, innit? Like, this works as he's a massive Toad fan and makes a lot of sense, but the important thing to take away is he is. Val isn't. Val may support his endeavours, but isn't a Toad fan like he is. Val refers to the toads in the first series as Harvey's toads, not our toads or hers, but his. So when circling back to the urine drinking, why would Val ever do this? She has no reason why she wants to. Harvey must have manipulated her into believing this is normal. This isn't. She would know this. And how do you get someone to drink it? Well, I gamble it on being through verbal or even physical abuse. Number 3, financial abuse. Now, this point is less important, but it still has some relevance to bring up. There is a high probability that Harvey has a financial superiority over Val. Now, why do I think this? Well, Val is shown throughout the show to be a stereotypical housewife, cleaning and caring for her children, and never doing any kind of work. So, is it crazy to say that she has no job? Also, if you look into her occupation on the extra features on DVD for Series 1, it says, under her occupation, she's a virgin. Now, last time I've checked, that isn't a job. And I'm going to say that in fact she hasn't done any work in the past. So therefore, Harvey can quite easily have full financial control over Val. The Benjamin Cure. Benjamin is an independent thinker and doesn't just follow people. This means that when it comes to visiting the family, he opposes the family's strange actions. As a little side note, how I mean oppose, I mean that he doesn't like to drink his own urine. So in the whole, a real revolutionary. Now, Val does seem to have a love for men in her life. And how I mean by that is, while she is around Harvey, she likes to do things to make him happy, but equally for Benjamin. She is a woman who likes to care for people. She likes to care for both Harvey and Benjamin. But let me prove that through, once again, the gloriousness of examples, because dear God, I am not looking into this topic too much. I never look into this show too much. I never look into any topics on this channel too heavily. Dear God, what do you think? I'm so weird, man? God, no. So if you have a look at the first episode and the second scene, we can see the Denton family in. We see that Val is listing off objects in a rhyme. So if you have a look at the first episode and the second scene in that episode with the Denton family in, we see Val listing objects in a rhyme. But let's really analyse that. Why is she doing this in a rhyme? She's doing this because she can tell that Benjamin is going to struggle with learning all this new information. So by reading this in a pattern, it makes it seem more palatable. This means she obviously cares for Benjamin and wants to make this whole new experience of stupid rules more enjoyable in some way. So she cares for Benjamin. But does she care for Harvey? Well, yes. Remember how I mentioned this love for toads? Well, the first person to introduce this idea of his love of toads is Val. That's because she knows Harvey loves talking about toads. Anything to do with toads, I mean, makes him happy. And by her bringing this up, it means that she can get him talking on and on about it, and therefore making him happy. Val is shown caring for Benjamin because I believe she sees him as a possible escape to pure truthful life of honesty. Val likes Benjamin because he opposes Harvey, and therefore she wants to care for him and look after him at the home. So he has no excuse to leave because it's the perfect household. Benjamin is extremely important for Val, as she has no exterior support network outside the home, so it can make it easier for her to fall in love with his place in the household. Through this whole movement of care, Val becomes more and more maternal to him. The family are witches. Okay, so in the last section we got a glorious description from me on how Harvey's abuse led to Val's love. But God, don't worry, I still have one more point to make, really, to bring this whole point home, which I spent most of my time researching. So, dear God, please, let me tell you all about it, because if it's not worth it, let's start with all the basic facts. The Denton family are witches. This is shown through multiple areas in the show. So let's go through some of the highlights why I think, for some reason, the family are witches. Number 1. They have literally said on the commentary that Val is a witch. They called her a witch. The League of Gentlemen have called her a witch. She is a witch. Number 2. The special features on the DVD. Okay, so on the DVD there is character cards. Now if we look at the character cards for Harvey, under occupation it is witch. Literally witch. Come on now. You have to believe me. Her role in the Christmas special. Now, the Christmas special is not considered canon, but I still believe this speaks a lot of truth for her. She is the head of a woman-only cult in town. This cult is full of lots of witchcrafty things, i.e. doll shit. Number 4. She can teleport or move very quickly. It is spoken about in the commentary, but yeah, in certain scenes, she has an unhuman like speed when it comes to getting about. Number 5. They have witchcraft books. In the anniversary special, we can see in the basement a shape on one of the books. That could be considered a frog, but I believe it's also the symbol for babe, or whatever how you pronounce it, which is a symbol I found in a witchcraft book titled The Lesser Key of Solomon. I mean, I could go on, but that would be cruel. So in short, they're a family of witches. The little one theory. Now, how does this tie into anything? Well, it's all tied into the next statement I'm about to make. Guys, don't be too shocked when I read it to you. Val is not satisfied with her children, and her maternal needs are not being met. This makes her force Benjamin into being a child for her. Val is not satisfied by her children because, now this is the big I think they were created through magic. Now, because you are starting to screech at me, I'm going to tell you what the hell that means, okay? But just hear me out on this one. Okay, so the thing that put this whole theory into my mind is when you look at the extra features on Series 1 DVD, and if you go under the character occupations for Val, you can see virgin. Now, hear me out. If Val is a virgin, how did she get to the point of birthing 2 children? Well, I think it all begins to click when you put 2 and 2 together. Harvey and Val are witches. Val is a virgin. So is it crazy to think that she created her children out of witchcraft? Hey, maybe you don't believe me. So, let me go over this in some more details, which makes me think this way, right? So, toads. Yes, they are connected, I promise. The amphibian biology means that when giving birth, they produce an egg outside of their body. Now, Harvey, who likes to copy toads in every way, would clearly try to copy this, as he'd probably see this as a much cleaner way of doing things. But how can you do this? As humans don't have eggs outside the body, they have it inside. Well, witchcraft, baby! We know Harvey is a witch, and Val knows a lot about this topic, or is a full-on witch herself. Hey though, mate, but maybe you seem to not agree on me with this one. But let's go to the children and analyse them quickly for a second. They are cold and emotionless. Most actions they commit in the show only seem to be there for them to create chaos and mayhem. Now, I believe that when they created the twins, they accidentally got them connected to some demons. I also think that works within the logic of spells. Now, don't quote me on this, I'm not a big witch person myself. I only have done a little bit of knowledge on this, but like, as the spell, it did give them something they wanted. It gave them children, not ones that Val could connect with. Careful. The children have pros of being what they asked for, but not what they needed. This clearly wore at Val and leading her to get to the point where she knew family arrangement, new child, a new member to care and look after. Conclusion! So yeah, that's why I think Val is actually obsessed with having a son. She wants to take care of someone, and the way she expresses this dream of hers is through Benjamin. This is to any extent, and this leads her to being quite obsessed with Benjamin and any idea of having a son, really. Ending card. Thank you for watching this video. This video has been slowly in the works for the last 2 months, and yeah, it's finally posted, so that's great. If you want to watch any other League of Gentlemen stuff out there, I have got a video posted on the whole history of the gang. So that should appear on the screen. There, maybe, in the corner, there, literally anywhere here, it should be posted. So, not here, I'm not going to post it here, but you know, you get it. Anyway, yeah, if you enjoyed the video, subscribe, like, because I want to do more analysis videos of things, and also League of Gentlemen, because I'm so obsessed. I am actually so obsessed. I'm going to show you something. Now my microphone's going to go all itchy and bad, but give me a moment. I have like this weird like poster thing. It's so old. It's so old. Anyway, bye.